Hi everybody, I planned to do this video on Saturday and absolutely forgot about it. I got buried in portfolio, as I'm sure is a common experience for all of us right now. um, so I don't think I told everybody about this experience that I had during my internship, but it's definitely a memorable experience that I'm going to carry forward with me from now on through the rest of my life. Several of you know that I had many wildlife encounters while I was in Baton Rouge. I was able to interpret a swamp tour where I got to see a number of alligators and turtles and spiders that are literally as big as your hand. They're not as thick as tarantulas, but they are the spiders that hunt fish, small fish. We saw snakes. We saw wild boars. It was really, really cool. On campus, the campus is 115 square acres, 110 square acres, I forget, or I guess you don't have to say square because that's implied with acre. For those of you who have been to Seattle, that's roughly the size of the Seattle Center. So where the Space Needle is, the Science Center, the theaters, it's about that same size. So it's about as large as a college or community college. It's a huge campus. While there, I saw beavers, I saw deer, I saw raccoons, and that leads me to this story. I was fortunate enough to stay on campus. They put me in a duplex, which was relatively close to the entrance to the school, about 2 football fields. It was the closest building to the main entrance. And within the first couple of days I was there, I heard raccoons in the attic. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure they're not harmful. They're not going to disturb me at all. They're in the attic. I'm here on the ground level. It should be fine. But then I thought, no, because if there are raccoons in the attic, as a good caretaker of the facilities, I'm sure they would want to know that something is living in that space to maybe not damage the ducts or the insulation or whatever, not make a mess, like be eating and pooping and peeing up there, not breed up there so you wouldn't have like an infestation. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to tell the facilities manager. The facilities guy put a big trap up in the attic, and I ran into him right after he did it. And he's like, yep, sure enough, I saw these eyes over in the corner of the attic. And I was like, great, cool, we're going to get it. It was one Friday morning. I had to get up particularly early for internship because I was going to team interpret a meeting that started at 7 that morning. So I wanted to get plenty of sleep. So I'd gone to bed relatively early. And as I was laying down, I heard snap. And I was like, oh, okay. So the raccoon has stumbled upon the trap, found the food inside, and then the door closed because it was one of those big, it kind of looks like a cat carrier with a trigger. And then they were going to release it a couple miles from campus. I thought, cool, I'll be able to sleep, without hearing this scuttling around all night. And then I smelled something horrendous. And I was immediately awake because the smell that I was smelling was not raccoon, but was skunk. And so things were like flying through my head. Like, what do I do? Like, do I try to grab my clothes? I had a fleeting instance of maybe I'll just stay here for the night, open all the windows, the smell will pass. And then I immediately thought, I can't do that because I will smell like skunk for the rest of the day. I will smell it, even if the people around me can't smell it after I thoroughly shower. And then I thought, oh no, all of my clothes are going to be ruined. Even if I shower, my clothes are going to smell like skunk because I'm not going to be able to find a laundromat that's open at 5 in order for me to wash these clothes. So I grabbed a change of clothes. I had already set it up for the next day because I was getting up so early. I grabbed my backpack, toothbrush and deodorant, and I bolted. And I'm so happy that I did because I went back the next day and the place definitely smelled like skunk, but not as strongly. I was fortunate that I didn't have to wash my clothes. that I was able to like let them air out, and I got some Febreze. So ran into the maintenance guy. Well, didn't run into him. I emailed him with a huge heading that said "Warning, Skunk" as the title, because when they went to retrieve this trap, I didn't want them to get sprayed. So I emailed him to warn him, and he emailed me back and said, "Hey John, thanks for the heads up. Just went to get the trap. It was empty." So for the next couple nights, I was sleeping on pins and needles because I could still hear the scurrying above my head. A couple days later, another maintenance guy said what they think it was, because they actually had seen a skunk in the attic, or a raccoon in the attic. Another maintenance guy was just doing some yard work around the house, and said that the corner of the house where the air conditioning unit was smelled really strongly of skunk. So the current theory is that the AC turned on outside, it spooked the skunk, and he sprayed, and then it got sucked in through the ventilation system. Because luckily I didn't have any other skunk experiences for the rest of internship. Hopefully none of your internships were as odoriferous as mine. But yeah, feel free to have a good laugh. Feel free to share this video. I'm not shy about that experience, because it's going to happen to the best of us. It's going to happen to the worst of us. Have a good one.